Okay, welcome everyone. It is 6 o'clock PM on Wednesday, May the 6th, in the year 2026. And I'd like to begin our regular workshop for the Lake City Board of Trustees. We do have a quorum.
Yes, we do.
Okay, our first item this evening is a wastewater treatment plant renovation project update. Joanne.
I think I'm in a workshop to talk about the last couple of slides of my PowerPoint. Um, we can talk about the first part if you want now as well, or
Sure. You want to just-
I mean, there wasn't a whole lot different going on the last couple of weeks. They
Okay.
started hauling material and they've been building berm. Some days it's just really gooey. But today, they worked for 4 hours today and then gave up. They did plow it, so it shouldn't be too wet tomorrow.
We were only supposed to get 1 inch.
Yeah. What a soggy mess.
Yes, we will take it.
It's moisture.
It's water, yeah.
So, Ridgeway Valley's completion date right now is in 10 days. They quite obviously are not going to meet that. And I kind of put together a little bit of a summary how we got to here. They got behind last year and didn't finish the first cell in time and get flow transferred with enough time to get the 2 new cells done. And so they didn't get all the sludge out last year. They still have sludge to remove, but it's in a place where it's not doing it isn't holding them up. They just didn't get far enough before winter. They've been only running 1 crew. The schedule we got last Friday said they would finish in October, and Lex and I freaked out. And John, the owner, was up on Monday, and I talked with him about that. And he said he hadn't seen the schedule. He knew it was in his inbox, but that they'd be done in July, which was
Better than October.
was a whole lot better than October. Thank you. Make 3 years. Or year 3 anyway. The contract says that if they're getting behind and they need to put more people and equipment on, so far we haven't really seen that. Anyway, John told me that he thought he'd be done in July. I got an email from his project manager this morning saying that he and John had talked and they'd be done in July. I asked for a schedule that reflected how they were going to do that. I didn't get it. So at some point today, I put together what I thought could, if optimistically, if they were doing 2 things at once, or more than 1 thing at once anyway, maybe sometimes 3, they could be done. What I came up with, just following critical path, was the middle of August. So I think the purpose of our bringing this to you in workshop was for you to ask questions and to get you thinking about what you want to do in terms of doing, whether you want to give them an extension whether you want to give them some additional time and tell them if they're not done by then, you want to charge liquidated damages. I don't know that we're looking for an answer tonight, but Lex can correct me. But I think we did want everybody to start thinking about it.
What, have they addressed the $400 a day?
No, we didn't talk about that. When I talked to him, I said when I talked to John. John was only up for a couple hours to see where they were at, mostly with the building, because they're switching building contractors. Or they are now the general on the building and they're subbing stuff. The building's been in progress for ever. Yeah. And there are still things that are preventing them from insulating.
We've been in this spot before, like with Third Street, right?
Oh, yeah, we're always in this spot. I mean, with Rundle, it wasn't this catastrophic.
Right.
But, and with Rundle, we had a base bid and all these add-ons. And every time we gave them more work, we gave them a little more time. And so they really never technically ran it.
So what is your, can our system sustain in June and July
We
The way
made
it
it
is.
last year. We made it last
the
year.
way it is now at that configuration?
No, we had slightly more hydraulic time, how long the water was in the ponds last year, but we have more aeration this year. And we have almost the same amount of time. And the more you mix it, the faster the bugs, with all the extra air, we're getting more mixing and the faster the bugs do their thing.
So we'll be okay.
I hope so.
Okay.
I can't change, there's no way to change it at this point.
Right.
I mean, that might be something that if we do have trouble in July, that we've got a good relationship with the lady at the health department. It cares.
Okay.
So we could start getting fined.
Yeah,
Right.
there has not been any indication of that. We were out of compliance on ammonia all winter, or January through March, because that's when our strictest limit is, and it's the hardest for us to meet it. And without the covers, the water isn't warm enough to remove ammonia. So, but she expected that. We just wrote a little love letter every month.
I did read in one of your reports that they were gonna double up crews. Is that to get done in July, or is there something?
They need to double up crews to get done in July. They're also on a project in Ridgeway and a project by the airport in Montrose, but he was planning to bring the Ridgeway crew up as soon as they finished, which is supposed to be by Memorial Day.
Okay.
Monday, he was complaining about hung lines and fiber in his water trench, and it was slowing him down. When Ron stopped by to look at it, Ron's been up twice this week, and there was nothing in the trench. So hopefully they're making some good progress up there.
Right.
Ron's reason for going is over, so I know I'll have to talk to the public works guy.
Landon?
Is there any correlation between delayed shipping and units of stuff that we've ordered, rather, aerators and stuff like that?
No, not right now. One of the
They
things,
haven't been like impeded by waiting on shipping, have they?
not from us and not on their stuff. Mostly they just really need to get the ponds shaped and done. The thing that's probably going to hold them up and I sent them, I sent Marcus and the project manager an email today, is the slide gates. We can't put the covers on, we can get the liner done and everything on top of the liner, but the slide gates need the water down 6 feet. And the cover doesn't flex that much. So we can't put the covers on, which means we can't put the aeration in until the slide gates go in.
What's the ETA for the slide gates?
Yeah, they're not released for production.
Hmm.
And last time when we were talking about it last fall, they were 2 months lead time, plus or minus.
Then they're not, and that's when they're approved for production.
That's when they're approved for production.
So from ever what date we do get that, it's at least
We're a couple of months out to be able
to receive them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, July
We're
is
not,
optimistic.
luckily, we're not the ones ordering that. I've asked the cover people what their timeline is and haven't heard back, but I'll bug her again tomorrow.
So July seems pretty optimistic, but yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I'm thinking Labor Day's probably, I should be home by Labor Day.
Well, I know you've been pushing. It's kind of disappointing, you know.
Real disappointing.
And my big concern is when when the town's full, hope we can handle it,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know.
and hopefully we can, and we can, we've got the two biggest cells online. And so, with the schedule you presented a week ago today, had them taking the concrete basin offline over 4th of July.
No,
Did you really think this through?
True.
Gee,
okay, well, thanks for the heads up. All the trustees think about that, and as, I think we'll have to decide how we want to proceed since they're not meeting deadlines. But I
Yeah.
think we'll work with Lex and Dan on
And I know
that.
Lex wants to have a meeting with John and probably you and maybe Diane or something, just to.
Okay,
Yeah, I was thinking early next week, Dave, to have that meeting with John to make
Okay.
it clear that October is unacceptable. We need you to double up the crews. We need you to honor the contract. So
well, I guess what we can do is see how that works out for you, and then we can make a decision how we want to proceed, but
Yeah.
hopefully Lex can light a fire in them, and I know you've been pushing hard, Joanne.
I had a decent conversation with John. I told him that we really needed to get done.
All right, any trustees have any other questions for Joanne?
mhm.
Do you need a kind of a background on?
I don't think so. I read through it. I guess I don't know what I don't know.
I'm in the same boat, it's
okay.
okay.
You're lucky that you don't know.
Okay, well,
Thank
thank you, Joanne, we appreciate you pushing.
Yep.
Keep our fingers crossed. Yeah, trustees, that if you want, look in your plan, that there is a project schedule in there. So, let's meet with him and see where that goes.
Awesome.
All right, our next item this evening is to discuss stage one drought water restrictions. There's a letter in your packet or basically stating the restrictions we'd be looking at if things don't get better. Lex, did you have anything you wanted to add?
yeah, I would just that's an example of what a stage one drought restriction looks like. A lot of the other communities on the western slope and even in the Front Range have already enacted these. Um, I think that, I mean, my recommendation is that we go ahead and put this in place before June or at the next meeting in order to get ahead of all the summer use that people have for like watering their lawns and just before the crowd gets here. Um, I just think it would be wise of us, and it's also being considerate of people downstream from us, and we just don't really know how much precipitation we're going to get this summer.
Well, I think it's worth being prepared and having something in place if we need to go into restrictions.
Yeah.
Are you saying what you'd send out is that's just a guideline and then the town would make, more definitive?
Yeah, these are pretty standard ones. If someone had any concerns about this or think there's anything in addition we should do or not have, I don't think the watering schedule is really necessary. Like for even and odd days or even and odd addresses on different days. Um, it would just be overall if people only, limited when and how often they watered would be helpful.
Okay. Well, we know that changes when all the houses fill up. After our last little water scare, we saw how quickly the water can go down, so.
Yes.
I think it's worth being prepared. Just have any comments?
Is there a stage 2 or 3?
Yeah, there's more restrictive ones for sure.
Yeah, you have to bathe in the river. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean there's definitely more restrictive ones, but I'd rather us just start here and kind of see how the weather plays out through the summer.
Be prepared.
Does everybody think this is a something to move forward with at the next meeting?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. In the meantime, all the trustees can read over those and make any notes on things you don't think apply and anything you might think would be beneficial for Lake City. All right. Next is the town park playground update. I did drive by, it looks completed. In fact, yesterday, there's probably 25 kids out there having a good time, so.
Looks great.
I do have a bit of an update. I had touched base with Christy about an hour ago. We received another $3,500 in donations today. So our gap is now $8,243.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
Thank
awesome.
you, everyone. Yeah.
What happens if we don't get that 8,000?
We've already set money aside.
Yeah.
We already got it. I mean, we're going to pay for the gap out of the Conservation Trust Fund, which is specifically for Parks and Rec improvements.
We actually set more aside than that, so we're good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had 16,000 set aside in the Conservation Trust Fund for it. So we're in a good place.
Yep, well, I think it's a great project, a lot of contributors. Thank you to Commissioner Borchers and Dirk and everybody who did all that work.
Yes.
And a huge thank you to all those contributions. Any trustees have anything else on the park? We can go and play for a little bit and enjoy it.
I do miss this week.
Okay. Our next item then is discuss the draft sheriff IGA resolution consenting enforcement of county laws within town and draft ordinance making fire restrictions uniform within the county, with the county. As you all know, this is all part of our IGA work, and I sat in the commissioners meeting today, and they have agreed to this, and it's basically changing a resolution that allows the sheriff to cover all the laws that are down in the unincorporated parts of the county in the town, just like we're all one. So I think it simplifies things, and I think it's a good way to go. And it sounds like that idea is coming together. Lex, did you have anything to add on that?
No, I think Dan does. I will let him lead this conversation.
Thanks for throwing me under the bus, Lex.
You're
No, what you said is correct, Mayor. There is a little bit of nuance to it in that any law that we have on our books has to mirror what the county has on their books to enforce it. And so what you see with that burn restriction is a repeal of our existing one because it wasn't exactly mirroring and kind of enforcing what they have. There is a animal and I have it in front of me. It's 16 pages of animal regulations that I have not had a chance to get to, and I apologize, but the main ones are the model traffic code and the fire. So we got those going. We're on the right track, and I'm glad to see this coming to an end. I'm sure you guys are too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so what that means, Dave, is that the resolution for the enforcement of county laws within town and specifically the model traffic code um is on tonight's action items, and then the ordinance for the fire restrictions is we'll vote on that next time, and then hopefully next time too we'll have the one for the animal ordinance. And once we get those in line, then it would be appropriate to approve the sheriff IGA once we have all that kind of housekeeping done.
Okay. No, I know it's been a long, drawn out process. A lot of work went into it, but I think it's time to do that. I think in the end, we're going to have a good IGA to move forward with. That's a lot more streamlined and will be easier to work out for next year.
Yeah.
So thank you to everybody for all your work on that. We already discussed the animal thing, and I'm out of jokes on that, so we'll move on. Any trustees have anything about that? Like Lex said, that is an action item this evening to approve that. Okay, next item is to discuss Mike and Tracy Coffin request to remove 3 cottonwood trees in the right of way on Highway 149 located at 521 Gunnison Avenue. There's information in your packet there. Everybody read that. You know, we all love our trees, but I did find it's interesting that they have a expected life, and some of our cottonwoods have definitely lasted longer. Also, with the damage to the roots on those, I think it could be it's a safety hazard as well. So based on their recommendations, the fact their insurance company is willing to remove those, and they will be replanting. For me, it's kind of a no-brainer. It just makes sense.
Yes.
Yep.
Lex, did you have anything to add to that?
No, I don't see a problem with them being removed, especially since their insurance is going to cover it and they're going to get their own crew to remove them. It makes sense to me too. But really, does any of the other trustees have any issues or comments about that?
No.
Nope. Just one small favor, if they replace with cottonwoods, ask them to do cottonless.
Mm-hmm.
Cotton gets old.
Yeah.
Okay, nothing else on that. We move on. Discuss town of Lake City letter confirming support for a combined county-town DOLA LPC incentive funding grant application to implement phase 1 of the Hinsdale County Town of Lake City housing plan. We have discussed this in the past. This is in regards to our IGA and to be able to move forward with our housing project. Lex?
Yep. So this is a letter that the DOLA is requiring. The county's already provided a letter of support. They needed a letter from the town confirming that we're going to combine the funds and that the town supports the joint project, and authorizing me to submit the grant application with the town as the lead applicant, or as the lead fiscal agent. So all that's in the letter. It's just and I already drafted the grant application. I sent it to Robin at DOLA with the local planning capacity group to get their review and opinion, and then I'm planning on submitting it next week.
Okay. The trustees have questions on that? Comments? Okay. I thought it was going to be a long workshop. It's pretty good here. Not bad. All right. Our next item is discuss James Benefield, the new owner of Lake City Auto and Sports Center, request for a ground lease for a portion of the 8th Street right-of-way. Good to know you now, James. Thanks. Appreciate your patience sitting through our meetings. This is not an action item this evening. when we had discussed this, with Lex and the attorney, what I wanted to do this evening was get any input from any trustees in regards to that. We said it in the past, the town does not have interest in ever selling any more property, but are willing to work with business owners. We're pro-business, are a big part of our community here. And I believe what we agreed to is I want suggestions or anybody have their comments this evening about that. But then to instruct Lex and Dan to work negotiations with James and come up with an agreement, something that can work for all of us. On a personal note, my only concern is as we're going through this housing project is that I would ask them to reserve an area in case we are forced to have some extra overflow parking for that housing project, because we've already had to do a variance, letting them get rid of a couple parking spaces there. Now, there is parking on the street that will be available along there, but that's just my personal opinion, that we need to be able to work together on that. So this does say a portion of, so that's all I have to say about that, but I'd like to entertain any ideas or thoughts trustees have. Lan, do you have anything?
No, I mean, I'm not aware of any utilities. I think there is a sewer or something that if we do a lease, that it's known that if repairs are made, that it has to be suitable and things will have to be moved for, replacing or stuff like that. Let's see. To an agreement.
Can I interject just briefly before we get too far down this conversation?
I'm sorry, Dan, I should have had you introduce it. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I don't mean to overtake this. My understanding is that this portion of the street is not currently being used. That being said, I've been through too many times where it's come out later that we need parking or we need 10 feet here or whatever it may be. And I think we can get to a point where we get this business owner what he needs and the security he needs. But I'd recommend that we do a revocable encroachment agreement for this. And that just really protects the town's interest in ownership. We can essentially get to the same place by the terms of the agreement. And I've done this in a couple different towns. But I think that that's probably a better way to go rather than a lease just based on the town's interest.
Awesome. I just, saying for a portion of what portion, that's what I would just like to know. What the area would be.
Right. Well, and I think,
May I interject? Just some portion of it. I talked to the design and engineering team last week. We got some clarity on things. They were still considering a couple of other things besides the detention basin, but we should know here very, really, really soon about what portion, like how much of it that we could possibly issue a permit for. And so we'll have a better idea that anything that we negotiate, the trustees still have to approve. And so we'll have like a draft that we'll bring back to you and y'all can say yes, no, that's too long, too short, whatever.
Okay.
And so it'll come back to you and we'll have something worked out. Hopefully by the May 20th meeting.
And I'm for it. I mean, I'm not against it, but I just wondered what the dimensions were.
well, and that's what I'm saying. We'll have Dan and Lex work with these folks to come up with something. The reason I wanted Lex share it this evening is in case any trustees, before they start, have any concerns or things that you would like them to take into consideration as they work this out. I believe we're all in favor of, working this out to where it's a win-win for everybody. And I don't think that's an issue, but I just want everybody to have their opportunity to share anything. So, do you have anything, Nathan?
No, that's strong.
Okay.
And you know, Henry did bring up last time about getting fishing access down there in the river. So, I mean, that if everyone's okay with that, then that's something that we'll include in the negotiations. If there's anything else that dawns on you later, please let us know as soon as possible so that we can work it out with the property owner and and see what we can work out in the agreement.
Okay. All right. And y'all heard Lex said they'll work it out. It'll come back to us and then we'll finalize that. I don't have a problem with Henry's fishing request. I've always, you know, I've always looked at that river like we all live here, and if you want to fish down there, fish down there. But I'm learning more and more about where properties go across that river and back. I have an old map of Lake City, and that river's not where it was when they laid the town flat down. So, and I also still find it ironic that Lake Street runs down the middle of the river, but you know, go figure. Okay, anybody else have anything on that? Okay,
Is this open to the public? Or is this just?
our workshop?
Yeah.
No. But feel free when we get to, public comments later, if you want to say something. you
At a
can.
different meeting?
No, later tonight,
Oh.
in the regular meeting, this is just our workshop. Okay? All right. So, appreciate you being here. We're not gonna do anything with it this evening, so you guys will be getting with, Lex and Dan and work something out.
Yeah, there's an action item later to authorize us to negotiate something. So.
Awesome.
So you can hang out till later, but I think the board is willing to do that. Okay, next item is discuss placing a town ballot question on the November 2026 Hinsdale County election ballot regarding coordinated elections. Lex, you want to say this?
Yeah, I mean, it was something that Christina and I both have seen a lot of other small communities go this route. It saves the town. It'll save the town several $1,000s with each election. It also would simplify the election process where we're not holding separate elections. And that way, it would also be handled entirely by the county clerk's office. We would just be, submitting, we would be submitting anything that would be on the ballot, or if it was an election for trustees, then we would be giving all that information to them. We would be paying some part or portion, undoubtedly, we would be contributing to it, but it would definitely save us thousands of dollars and a lot of headache. That if the citizens approve it, if we actually get it on the ballot.
Okay. All right. I don't know why I know this, but there is a charge to have the county clerk run our election. It would probably still save us some money. But
Yeah, and maybe we can figure that out too and see what the actual cost would be. We haven't talked to the county clerk's office yet. We wanted just to broach the subject with you guys. So I can do that. I can try to get a cost estimate of what that would look like if we did joint ones or coordinated elections. One of the byproducts of this or consequences of this, if we did put it on the ballot, it did get approved, is that everybody currently on the board would be on the board for an additional 6 months because our elections would move from April to November.
okay, never mind. Forget all.
Yeah, I know.
So, yeah.
That's something to think about.
Yeah, something to think about. I'll get a cost estimate from Joan and see what that would actually look like in terms of cost. But like something that happened with like this previous election, where there were some addresses that were, that didn't receive their ballots, that was something we would avoid. It's not even something we can control. And we would rely on the county clerk or the state to update that information anyway. So that would also avoid a situation like that too in the future.
And I know Christina and Joan did some work on that last one and they worked together very well. So it might make it a smoother process for everyone involved.
Yeah.
Okay. Does you have any comments or questions on that? No. Hearing none, our next item is to discuss resolution 2026-02, adding Juneteenth to the town holiday schedule as a floating holiday.
Yep. May I, Dave? Oh, sorry. Yeah, we've talked about this before. It was something that I thought could be included in the employee handbook, which that should be done before the end of the month. However, I just wanted to get it on the books so that because Juneteenth is coming up, and in the resolution, I included language that would inform the employee handbook as well in terms of how it accrues, when it can be used, and all that.
Lex, the resolution number says 2025.
Well, that's just a typo.
That wasn't mine for once.
Yeah.
That's why we have trustee spell check.
Okay.
Yeah. I will just in the on the action item, just say 2026-02, please.
We will.
We did discuss this in the past, there wasn't. Nobody's really against it, it's become basically. Trustees have any thoughts on that? I wanted to call it Lake City Day, but.
I liked it too.
Yeah, we can. We're not doing anything official tonight. We can pass it on the flags if you like the idea of Lake City Day off.
Oh, and you know, just for the benefit of those that may not have been a part of that discussion, the county, the bank, our attorney, the post office, everybody has Juneteenth off. We haven't had it as an addition to our holiday schedule. Having as a floating holiday means that really any time in the year someone can take that holiday. Because I plan to work June 19th because no one's going to bug me and nothing's open. So that way I can use that holiday at a future date. So, but that's the background on it and the reasoning behind it.
And it makes sense when everybody else is closed, it's hard to get a lot of.
Yeah.
Okay, any other comments on that? Right, our next item is to discuss planning and zoning letters of interest to fill vacancy on the planning and zoning commission. I just got one letter from Richard. I worked on this. It was.
Feel things great.
And I've also heard he likes to go by Rich. But anyways, did y'all read his letter in there? And he's been at a couple of the meetings, one on Zoom and one in person, and he's working on a degree in real estate. And it's, I think he'd be a fantastic addition
Yes.
to planning and zoning and a huge help with our housing project and situation. So that is I believe, an action item this evening to go ahead and appoint him. Anybody have any questions or comments on that? No? Okay. And finally, discuss trustee committee / board appointments, Lake San Cristobal Water Activity Enterprise, Gunnison Basin Roundtable, Chamber of Commerce, Marketing Committee, MAC Committee, Dirt, and Region 10. We did a little discussion on this in the past. I'm open. Anybody can put their name out. There's any of those that they really want to serve on, just so you know. Trustee Bruce has been serving on Dirt and the Marketing Committee. She enjoys doing both of those. And I believe you would like to continue.
Yes, please. And I also served for the MAC committee as well. But
Right.
I would like to give that away.
Okay. I was thinking poor Landon's been left out in the past.
No, I haven't.
Oh.
Well, I'm not saying he has to. I'm just thinking he would make it great for the MAC committee because they don't meet all that often.
That's true.
Diane can explain to you what it.
It's a multi-agency cooperation, group.
Union all my free time.
Well, like you said, they don't have meetings a lot.
Yeah.
So possibly, I don't know, 3 a year,
Yeah, it's very minimal, but it's basically staying on top of what
4 a year maybe.
emergency preparedness, sheriff's office.
They just did a wildfire
Yeah.
data file.
Yes, I will. Okay.
I mean, you're good at stuff like that.
Yeah, think about it. We'll come back to you before you get the
You
commitment.
just said yes.
No, I said I know.
So
Did any of the other trustees want to take the MAC committee? Hearing none. I had some notes from our last meeting. Not trying to force these, y'all can jump on anything you want. Trustee Weiss had shown interest in Region 10, and I think that would be great. You would be the town representative on the Region 10 board. And our newest trustee, we need somebody on the Chamber of Commerce. And I know you had mentioned marketing. You guys can arm wrestle over my team. But how would you feel about serving with Chamber of Commerce as a town representative?
I mean, it sounds fine, just depending on what's involved.
It's basically attending, Jesse's not here to pass on the torch, but it's basically attending their meeting as a town representative. And I think you would be good at it because you're also a business owner. And the Chamber of Commerce is what keeps our business moving.
Yeah, they meet once a month, Kaylin. I believe it's maybe the first Monday of the month. I'm not, I can find out for sure, but they typically only meet once a month for a couple of hours.
Right.
Marketing committee would be the same thing once a month for about, you know.
You have to have an answer by today.
Well, and also Henry's not here, and then we're going to be appointing a trustee at the next meeting. So maybe we continue this conversation to the next meeting when everyone's here.
And you know, Henry has been serving on the,
The Lake San Cristobal Water Activity
and
Enterprise.
Gunnison Basin Round. And he liked those. But anyways, y'all think about it and then we can decide at the next meeting. And, you know, it seems like all the time we learn something new, and I was informed that we're actually supposed to do this by resolution. So once we make our decisions, we will formalize it with a resolution naming which trustees are serving on which committees. In the past, it was like, you want to do it? Yeah, go. So think about it, and you guys can argue amongst yourselves. But next meeting, we'll go over that. The resolution. Any questions or comments? And I believe Henry said he did want to, he would stand both of them.
Yeah. He's good at that.
Okay.
Um,
And I will continue to serve on Region 10, but I do that as a county.
May I just add something real quick, Dave? Just for anybody that is attending in person, if you would fill out the, we sign in on the attendance sheet that's there by the front door if you haven't already.
Okay, and I'm sorry, Lex, I'm used to having you here in person and letting you do all the talking and trying to fill in, so if I mess up this part, and I'll hear you. Okay, that pretty much wraps up our workshop for this evening.
Wow.
And it is time is 6:43. Come back and begin our regular meeting at 7 p.m. Welcome everyone. It's 7:00 p.m. on Wednesday, May the 6th in the year 2026. And I would like to call to order the regular meeting of the Town of Lake City Board of Trustees. Let's begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Rex, would you lead us?
With allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, roll call please.
Bruce. Here. Trivisano. Here. Winery.
Here.
Woods.
Here.
Weist.
Here.
Roberts.
Here. Okay, we're going to begin by swearing in our appointed officials. First one this evening is our town clerk, Christina Buck.
Somebody gonna take a picture? Good picture takers.
Okay, I'll try to phrase it better than hers.
Okay.
By the way. I, Christina Bowman,
I, Christina Bowman,
do solemnly swear by the ever-living God
do solemnly swear by the ever-living God
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and of the state of Colorado
and of the state of Colorado
and the town of Lake City,
and the town of Lake City,
codes and ordinances,
codes and ordinances,
and that I will faithfully perform the duties
and that I will faithfully perform the duties
of the office of town clerk,
of the office of town clerk,
town treasurer,
town treasurer,
and municipal court clerk
and municipal court clerk,
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter. Yay! You want me to sign it? Out of deputy.
Christina's been in the office for a while now and doing it fantastic. Next, Tina.
Happy to take a picture of you with your phone.
You want, sure.
That would be great. Do that.
He's doing this for the social. Super psyched.
Repeat after me. I, Tina Caniglio,
I, Tina Caniglio,
do solemnly swear by the ever-living God
do solemnly swear by the ever-living God
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and of the state of Colorado
and of the state of Colorado
and the town of Lake City codes and ordinances,
and the town of Lake City ordinances,
and that I will faithfully perform the duties of the office of
and I will faithfully perform the duties in the office of
deputy clerk
deputy clerk
and the clerk of the board of trustees,
and the clerk of the Board of Trustees,
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
Yay.
Yay! Want to sign?
Yep. All you trustees saw the responsibilities of these two. You read it, they finalized their job description, and it's a lot of work. Do a great thing. Next, is there Alexander Mulhall in the house?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay. I, Alexander Mulhall,
I, Alexander Mulhall,
do solemnly swear by the ever-living God
do solemnly swear by the ever-living God
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and of the state of Colorado,
and of the state of Colorado
the town of Lake City codes and ordinances,
and the town of Lake City codes and ordinances,
and that I will faithfully perform the duties of the office of
and I will faithfully perform the duties of the office of
deputy clerk
deputy clerk
and deputy municipal court clerk,
and deputy municipal court clerk,
on which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Lex. Yeah, Lex, I'll shake your hand. You'll have to sign this when you get back.
Yes, sir.
Next is Jeff McDonald. Honors by your presence. Good evening, it's glad to be. I, James McDonald,
I, James McDonald,
do solemnly swear by the ever-living God
do solemnly swear by the ever-living God
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and of the state of Colorado
and of the state of Colorado
and the town of Lake City,
and the town of Lake City,
codes and ordinances,
codes and ordinances,
and faithfully perform the duties of the office of
and faithfully perform the duties of the office of
municipal judge,
municipal judge,
upon which I am about to enter.
on which I'm about to enter.
All right.
Steal a pen, where do I start?
Did you steal my pen?
Yeah, that's it from
Oh,
right there.
yeah, I mean, Dave. I was missing a pen. No. Yes. You have a black one.
And finally,
Hello.
our town attorney.
Uh-oh.
Thank you, Dave.
Are you here?
I'm here.
Do you want to do this?
As long as you don't want me.
No, we want you, Dan. I, Daniel Crobb,
I, Daniel Crubb,
solemnly swear by the ever-living God
do solemnly swear by the ever-living God
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and of the state of Colorado
and of the state of Colorado
and the town of Lake City codes and ordinances,
and the town of Lake City codes and ordinances,
faithfully perform the duties of the office of
faithfully perform the duties of the office of
town attorney,
town attorney,
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I'm about to enter.
Thank you.
Yay!
Thank you.
I got an excuse to come visit you guys to sign that thing.
Yep, you
Yeah.
better.
Thank you.
I like playing with the phrasing just to throw people off.
I thought my audio was cutting out, but
We got to thank you, Dan.
I'm gonna make dinner.
All right.
Thank you.
See ya. Okay, our next item is approval of the agenda for the regular meeting, May 6, 2026. I don't believe we have any additions or revisions.
Make a motion to approve the regular meeting, May 6, 2026.
Do you have a motion and a second? Any discussion? Lex, I didn't ask you, did you have any changes?
No.
We have a motion and second, roll call vote.
Bruce,
Yes.
Rosanna. Yes. Henry,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Weeds,
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes. Next item, minutes from the April 22nd meeting. In your packet, everybody get a chance to review those?
I move to approve the meeting minutes from April 22nd, 2026.
My second.
And motion a second, any discussion? Mr. Stelzner, I assume if you made the motion, everything was okay.
Looked good to me.
Roll call vote.
Bruce.
Yes.
Rosanna.
Yes.
Winnery,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Weeds,
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes. The next item is bill payable. Bills payable for this evening. You have a list in front of you. I just had one question on these. You're here. Just so I know what it is. Now, did I mark it?
Last page.
It's number
Yeah,
12.
what is the 2-20 horsepower Air O2 Titan?
That's me.
Would it- Oh, that's you.
What number is that, Dave?
Okay, so that's part of our wastewater treatment.
Yep.
Okay,
Got it.
I thought he was buying something fancy for.
It's handsome, not him.
Thanks, Joanne.
Yep,
That explains the cost.
I will let you know.
What's number 28?
Native.
Oh, it's the meal. It's from my conference, one of my meals.
Pardon me?
It's from the CCMA conference, one of my meals at the conference.
It's his native son.
Was the
No,
restaurant?
that was the name of the restaurant. Yeah.
Henry, you quit spending the town's money on dinner?
Well, Henry, open a restaurant. You know, I'd like to know that. That's funny, Henry. I saw that.
That's funny.
Okay, any other trustees have any questions or comments on the bill payable?
I would just like to ask Ethan if he has a total for what our water issue cost us.
I mean, we haven't I don't think, I mean, overall is about 20 grand. And then, we probably have some professional services we'll get from Joanne for consulting and being there and helping us with stuff. So the total amount hasn't fully came in yet.
Yeah. And I
But
know,
I'm guessing around 20 grand is what I'm guessing. Yeah. And I'm gonna be talking once we pay everything associated with it. I was gonna talk to DOLA. Um, and there's some other things that we need, the water system needs, that I was gonna try to do some kind of emergency grant or something to help with the water system. So I was gonna be talking to them about that next week with possible approval of a DOLA grant at the next meeting to help offset the cost of those repairs and potentially other repairs that we need to do.
okay. Yeah, I saw that in your report.
That would be great, yeah.
Yeah, because we got some repairs that need to be done to the water tanks, which is coming in at around 25 grand also. So, um, and so, yeah, we're definitely over our capital budget for that we had saved. So I was going to try to find some money from DOLA to get that done also.
Thanks, Lex.
Okay, any other questions or comments on those payable?
I'd like to make a motion to approve bills payable for May 6th, 2026.
Second. The amount of,
$78,932.64.
Motion and second. Roll call vote, please.
Bruce.
yes.
Truxona,
Yes.
Winery,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
East,
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes. Next is citizens' comments on matters not on the agenda. I believe we have a citizen in the room with us. If you would like to make a comment, would you like to come up to we call it the hot seat there?
Okay, sure. And I'm a newcomer here, so I'll just introduce myself. I'm Arlene and I live in town. And I just want to put on the table what was on the agenda at the last meeting, that letter from Jared Boyd regarding the RV parks and the performance standards. And the attachment wasn't included in that. So I have the attachment here that goes with that letter on the back. And the issue was, yeah, you can pass it around, that'd be great. The issue was having open RV park storage over the winter when our code asks that it not be for, what is it, in the highlighted section on the other side, something about,
Over 30 weeks.
yes. And so I just wanted to put it back on the table since this is something that business is going to go to the P&Z. They're on the agenda and they'll make a recommendation on a permit and it'll come back here. So I'm trying to get educated and had talked to Lex, Jared and I about, we're trying to learn, are they in compliance or are they not? That's all, just because when we review the permit, we just want to be up to speed. Is there a special use permit that we're not aware of? Did I get the zoning wrong? Did I interpret the zoning code? But that's how I read it. So, and if I could just say a quick story about familiarity, because I know this is the way it's happened for the past 50 years that those RVs stay out there all winter long. Like, I'm new here and there's something to think about. Like, I was riding my bike out towards the country store and a friend of mine in a very familiar car came to a stop. And I was like, oh, it's a friend. And I waved and I thought he waved back at me. And you might have seen Trustee Winery and Mayor Roberts saw I got hit by the car. But it was my fault because I was so familiar. He was my friend. I thought he said go along, but I didn't see him with the tinted windows and he didn't see me, so he hit me. But so my point is familiarity. This is the way you've done it since the 1950s or whatever. Let's take a pause. Let's dig deeper. Do we respect our code? I come here to watch you get sworn in, and you are to uphold the Town of Lake City code and ordinances. And that's all I'm asking, that that you consider it and educate us. And I guess that's it, because I'll be back to the next meeting, and that's it. So any thoughts? What, did anyone think about this since this was on the agenda last time? Did anyone think about?
What if we just adjusted the code to make it okay for them to do
What?
that? Adjusted the code to make it okay for them to do that.
Well, I mean, I'm going to have this on a future agenda item. This agenda was full again. These were other things that were pending. So either at the, I have it as a tentative placeholder for the May 20th meeting to discuss this and work.
Okay, perfect. Okay, and then I look forward to your comments then.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Well, I'll just say I appreciate you bringing that to our attention.
Yeah.
And one thing about our town staff that we have now, we constantly find things. I'm amazed all the time, but that's the way we've always done it. And this staff is doing a fantastic job of getting things in order and working on that. And I'm not making it, a comment on this particular issue, but
Yeah,
it's something like Lex said, I think we should address and, handle it the best way the board sees fit. Either change that ordinance or is it something we need to enforce? So we will have discussion on that and working with them.
yeah, and I just encourage you to consider the public good, because you are, yeah, I'm a little cheesy, but I do believe that I trust all of you to uphold the public good.
Absolutely.
It's authentic. But,
Okay.
thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
And just as a note, all of our ordinances are available on our website.
Mhm.
They're very accessible, so that is one of the good things about well, there's many good things, but that's a good thing for the public to know.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Arlene. Anybody in Zoom land have any other comments that they would like to make that's not on the agenda? Unmute yourself or raise your hand if you do. Okay, seeing none, we will move on. Next is employee reports. First one is town engineer, John Fagan. We already did hers kind of in the workshop. All the trustees know where we're at on that. So we believe we can move on. Any hands coming up? Building official report, Mr. McNeese's report's in your packet. We're coming into that busy time of the year. And I know Gabe, there seems to be projects going on all around town.
Yeah, and I believe I emailed it to you because he sent it to me earlier today, or he sent it late last night, but earlier today I emailed it to you guys.
I know it wasn't in the packet, you're right, it was in an email with you.
Correct.
Trustees have any questions or comments? Or maybe get a chance to look at it, but there's nothing earth shattering. Springtime business. Next is Parks and Recreation report. Mr. Hake. Ben was here earlier. Yeah, that's stuff. He's not here now. So his report's in our packet. Yes. They got the ice wall done. Great job on the town park. You and Park and Rec working together on that. Fantastic. Any questions or comments on that report?
We're still waiting on that land that the BLM's gonna give us for the ice park, or are we looking at the expanding?
For the ice wall, that's what you're talking about, Nathan? Yeah,
Yeah.
we're waiting on the BLM. They showed up a couple weeks ago to take a look at it. Said they were going to try to expedite it because there's fewer of them now to manage those things. So hopefully we hear something sooner than later. But to give you an idea, it took 16 years for the ski hill to become ours. So just to give you an idea. And that's with them being fully staffed. So hopefully having fewer of them works in our favor somehow.
I'm impressed you got the BLM to say they would expedite something, so. Just based on getting the road easement in the past. It can take a while. Okay, anybody got comments on Parks and Rec? Okay, next Public Works report. We did get your report in.
guys have any questions?
You've been busy.
No, I've expressed this and I continue to, but very, very proud of the job all the staff did, everybody involved with our water emergency. You know, it's just one of those things. What can you do about it? The one thing I did have a little talk with Lex about, and I'll go ahead and share it with the board because that's something I think we should all think about, is that's working. You probably have some money in your budget and that kind of thing, but you know, I stopped by and saw the situation over there, and I really think we need to do something to protect the electronics from the plumbing. You know, I used to do work for Rockwell and some companies like that, and just the way that building was set up where those electronics are susceptible, you know, to that kind of thing. And I know there's been some talk, Lex, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but, you know, some sort of plexiglass container. We used to work with these steel vaults, you know, but we need to rectify that. It's not pointing any fingers, you know, what are the odds of that happening? Nobody was aware, but I'm very proud and thankful of the job you guys did. You did a great job. Other towns, I don't think could have got it back online that fast. And the way the community stepped up, the fire department getting those blown out, you guys getting your water tested, the staff with their notification, the county getting the word out. I thought it was all handled very professional.
I think we worked pretty well as a team as a whole. I don't think we could have gone much better.
Yeah. Well, I thank you. I believe the board feels the same way. Trustee Woods, you have a comment?
Well, you know, I was surprised because I thought we'd resolved that issue of the ball field well being under the influence of the underground. I thought we'd resolved that years ago when Greg Levine was working, and then I read that come find out that we couldn't pump fully out of that
We have
well.
committed to, the only way it made it back into a groundwater source was when we only pumped it at 200 gallons a minute. And we couldn't keep up 200 gallons a minute.
So it does.
Both of the wells are restricted. When I started, you were pumping both wells at 600 gallons a minute. And they were under the influence of surface water. And we first started with the Bluff well, and we were able to get it back to a groundwater source at 400 gallons a minute. We tried the ball field well at 400 gallons a minute, and it failed. And so, and it takes about a year to get out from being under the influence. And we then tried at 200 gallons a minute because we didn't want to have to do it another time. And we figured if it was less than 200 gallons a minute, it wasn't worth it, and it would just be an irrigation well. But if it passed to 200 gallons a minute, we would keep it as a potable supply. And that we were able to get it to pass at 200. But 200 was not keeping up, which is a whole nother problem.
So is there any way we can resolve this with the
We have,
field well?
no.
But no.
Well, it depends how fast you pump the water
Right.
through the aquifer, whether you're pulling contaminants. And if you pull the ball field well at more than, it's something between 200 and 400 gallons a minute, you start to suck in stuff you can't put in potable water.
And temperatures change too. So there's no solution whatsoever?
I mean, the solution is to keep it at 200 gallons per minute.
But that's not a solution because it's.
I mean, we can't control what's in the aquifer or what it pulls up when we pump it at a higher rate. There really is no solution unless we create a third well somewhere else that can pump at a higher rate without pulling surface water.
And I believe there was talk on that a few years back. They were trying to find a location for a third well, and
Yeah, no, I tested. It didn't test. I found the paperwork on that. It failed test. It wasn't good water. And then also to add to that, discussion, I mean, we came to the conclusion that we have about 200 to 300 gallon per minute leaks in our system. So that would explain our high pumping numbers. There is, go ahead. Sorry, Joanne.
200 gallons a minute is enough to serve the town through most of the year. If we
didn't have the leaks.
If we
I mean,
didn't
if
have,
that one were to go out on the 4th of July,
you're gonna have to have people conserved.
we'd be screwed.
Yep.
Yeah, and then if we increase it above 200, we would have to do the boil order again because of state regulations.
But we lived with 400 gallons a minute for at least 2 and maybe 3 4th of July. We watered the park with the ball field well. But everything else survived at 400 gallons a minute in the years it took us to go through to get the ball field well certified.
Yeah.
I do know that staff is working on finding these leaks and getting them fixed. If parts of it are very old system, and we just got to do what we can to get it fixed. But all in all, I thought it was handled very well. Better safe than sorry. Nobody got sick that I heard of, and we got through it. And thank you very much.
I agree.
I have noticed the 3 leaks that we fixed within the last month and the month prior. We're saving about 5,000 gallons a day after fixing those 3.
Wow.
Yeah, so we pump out 10 leaks about every 74 hours in an Olympic-sized swimming pool.
More or less. Yeah.
Well, we're going to track them down. Lex and I did a little talking, and one of the areas of concerns where it goes under the river there, because if it's leaking there, you never know it. Right.
Yeah. And so, I mean, the whole new Camstrup AMI metering system that can detect leaks between meters on services and mains is one of the big reasons why that would benefit us greatly. Because we don't even know everything that's in the ground or how many little main extensions or common taps got put in over the years. And so we really need a system like that to be able to identify them and fix them.
Yep.
All right.
And you're the staff that can do it. Anybody have any questions for Ethan? No. Thank you very much. I know you guys have been working hard. Thank you for all your work over here, getting that water line in for the fire system in the apartment.
Thank you.
Joanne, a place to live.
Yeah. Okay. No questions for Ethan? Thank you very much. Thank you. Next, town clerk treasurer report from Christina. That's in your packet. Very concise report. Explains what they have been working on.
And also I forgot to put deputy clerk on the agenda, but her report, Tina's report, is in the packet.
Yes.
Yep, I did read that and I thought it was a great report. I don't think I've ever seen one from the deputy clerk. So thank you very much. Also in your packet is their new job descriptions. If you want to know how it is they stay so busy and all the things they're responsible for. Pretty amazing. It was to have them. Okay. I'm sorry. Did any trustees have any questions for Tina? The hard work.
Yeah. Love having you.
Thank you.
All right. Next is town manager report.
Yeah, y'all have my report. Yeah, I have to say staff did a really good job and really put in some extra time and work and was really good at cooperating and communicating information with me and others. So I do want to give them kudos. Tina also helped with the messaging online on Facebook on the weekend and came in for a few hours to assist me on Sunday, that Sunday where the leak happened. Just all in all, I'm very, very proud and grateful for my team. But besides that, I don't really have anything else to add. I am in Lakewood right now. I'll be attending the Department of Housing Developers Toolkit Workshop tomorrow and Friday, which is all about how to develop rental housing. So that's why I'm here. But if y'all have any questions on my report, I'll be glad to answer them.
Any questions? Nope. it was a good report, Lex. I don't mean to step on you. I know you're working hard on getting some funding to help with that fix, and we
Yeah.
appreciate it. All right. Next is legal update. Dan Cross, you have anything for us?
I think you guys heard enough from me tonight. Hoping to wrap up the IGA soon, and happy to answer any questions you might have.
Ethan.
I just wanted to say one more thing. I wanted to thank all the firefighters, Greg Levine, everybody that helped us troubleshoot and flush the system. We seriously could not have done it that quickly without them.
And I heard there were some citizens that stepped up, bought bottled water and brought it to town. Everybody, the community really pulled together. But yeah, I'm sorry if I didn't mention the firefighters, and I think CDOT even helped a little bit.
Yes, they did.
It was a great community effort. All right, now back to Dan. Thanks for all you do, Dan. Glad you're gonna stick with us. And, yeah, we'll come up with another project for you, I'm sure, before this is all over. But thanks for all your work on that IGA. You've done a great job. Any trustees have any questions for Dan? Any none? Okay, Mayor Trustee reports. Trustee Woods, you have anything?
Well, I guess you guys have probably noticed that I have problems hearing. And, according to the ADA, it's actually the law that I should be provided with some sort of help on that. If there was a microphone right here plugged into the owl, that would help him a lot. And that's what they have at the Gunnison Basin Roundtable. They have different microphones around the room in front of some of the speakers. So I'm wondering if you could please investigate that.
Henry, so I'll look to see if there's some kind of extra little speaker that can connect with Bluetooth or Wi-Fi that's connected to the AV system in the room. That would only help with people on Zoom. It wouldn't help with people in the room.
Right.
Because what people saying things in the room is not played on a speaker. And if we did that, there would be this feedback loop with that kind of system. So I'll look into options, but that may prove difficult.
Well, at the round table, they have an owl that looks the same as this. It's not. Because they have an owl that has speakers plugged into it. They have them around the room.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'll look into options, Henry.
Thank you, everybody.
And Henry, because several years ago, 4 or 5, Michelle, when she was helping Lex, she actually purchased some headphones for you.
Yes.
And I have a set of headphones that I use when I do Zoom meetings. And actually I can have those on, and Ron could be watching television in the same room, and I can't hear. I mean, I can hear what's going on in because remember the feedback was a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, these don't do that.
Well, I'd be willing to try it.
Okay.
Thank you for your consideration.
Yep. And I don't know if you notice any, but I have started talking louder in these meetings because you asked me to. And we only have, even Trustee Weiss there is starting to talk a little bit louder, and I'm proud of you for that. I can hear you. Yep. Okay. Trustee Winter, you have anything for us?
Nope, no reports.
Trustee Bruce? Trustee Weiss? Okay, that's such a quiet crowd. Well, my mayor report, I've already said it. From Public Works, I just wanted to thank everybody for their hard work.
Yeah.
And a great job done there. And then talking about those committee assignments. So you think about those. And other than that, love seeing the moisture. Hopefully it dumped a whole bunch up high.
4 inches.
And, And you're welcome, Henry. I'm doing my snow dance. So
Thank you.
you can tell the Indians that I'm working with them on that.
I appreciate it.
Only 4 inches?
That's what Solomon's snow test said.
Wow, I had more than that at my house.
I know. So did we.
Wow.
I could hear my driveway drinking it as it was falling.
Yeah,
Take a week, yeah.
it was awesome.
Yeah, well, every little bit helps. Bring it on. Okay, next item is correspondence received. We did receive a letter from Denny Brandon, basically stating that they are going to be doing their Old West Cowboy shows on Saturdays through July and August, and that they will be doing the stick horse race in the park again. Any questions or comments on that? Just
So, are they required to get a permit for the stick horse show at the park?
Yep, they'll have to work with town staff on that.
Yeah, they'll need to do a facility rental for it. They did come last year, remember, and was asking if the town would waive the fee or they weren't going to do it anymore, but he didn't mention it this time. So they'll need to do a facility rental application for sure.
Yeah, fees.
There's costs involved. So
But it's a fun thing, and I'm amazed how many people really, really enjoy it. In fact, there's letters in the paper. People are threatening each other every year about who's got a better horse and all that. So, hey, build it, they will come. So I appreciate them doing that. I don't have anything else. We have no additions to the agenda. So here we go. Let's wrap this up. We got our action items. First one, discussion and possible action to approve Lake City Arts yarn storming installation on county property. We discussed in the past, all the trustees gave a thumbs up. It got left accidentally off the last agenda, so we just need to go ahead and formally approve that. I'm fine with it. And then I saw their letter again. The only thing I ask is that if, make sure it's safe. We don't want things, kids getting hung up in them. And trustees made their comments about animals, having things on the ground, that kind of stuff. And they agreed that if we do have issues or complaints come to the town, then we will have to discuss it at that time. But we all support the arts, and I think it would be a fun thing. So, any trustees have any comments or questions? I would entertain a motion.
I move to approve.
Second.
Motion second. Roll call vote, please.
Bruce?
Yes.
Tribbisono?
Yes.
Winery?
Yes.
Woods?
Yes.
Weist?
Yes.
Roberts?
Yes. Next item, discussion and possible action to approve Hinsdale County / Town of Lake City Housing IGA. So moved. Second. Motion is second. We discussed this in length last meeting. Any questions or comments? Roll call vote, please.
Bruce?
Yes.
Tribbisono?
Yes.
Winery?
Yes.
Woods?
Yes.
Weist?
Yes.
Roberts?
Yes. Discussion and possible action to approve Town of Lake City letter confirming support for a combined county / town NOLA LPC incentive funding grant application to implement phase 1 of the Hinsdale County / Town of Lake City housing
So
plan.
moved.
Second.
I was going to memorize that, but I decided not to. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Bruce?
Yes.
Tribbisono?
Yes.
Winery?
Yes.
Woods?
Yes.
Weist?
Yes.
Roberts?
Yes. Discussion and possible action to approve Mike and Tracy Coffin request to remove 3 cottonwood trees in the right of way of Highway 129 located at 521 Gunnison Avenue.
So moved.
Second.
Well,
We have motion and second.
don't forget to
We already discussed.
make sure this fits in with the treasury budget for the year.
Yes.
There's letters in your packet, and when they were doing the construction, the root systems on them got damaged. The trees won't be safe at this point in time. Also, their insurance company, the trees got burned when the fire happened. Their insurance company is paying to take them down. Workshop, Henry, you weren't here.
That's
But we all agreed it's pretty much a no-brainer.
Okay.
Okay. All right, we have a motion in a second.
Hit the Tina, hit the button on the right. Hit that thing on the right. Okay, you got it. Never mind.
Okay. Sorry, Zoom man. Get a little glitch. Okay.
Technical difficulty.
So who had the motion and second on that one?
All vote.
Okay, Bruce.
Yes.
Trivisono,
Yes.
Winery,
Yep.
Woods,
Yes.
Weist,
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes. Discussion and possible action to approve resolution 2026-02, adding Juneteenth to the town holiday schedule as a floating holiday.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Discussion. Roll call vote.
Bruce.
No.
Trivisono,
Yes.
Winery,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Weist,
No.
Here, pick it up.
Roberts.
Yes, but I'd like to call it Lake City holiday.
Oh, yes for that.
Yeah.
Motion passes.
I agree with the staff having the day off because everybody else is closed that day as well, and they can use it as, they see. Okay. Next, discussion and possible action to approve new town clerk and deputy clerk job descriptions.
So moved.
Second.
I hope you're getting all that, Tina, because I can't tell who's saying what. Okay.
You all read those?
Oh, you have.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
Bruce.
Yes.
Trivisono,
Yes.
Winery,
Yes.
Woods.
Yes.
Weist,
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes. Discussion and possible action to appoint Richard Hiltings to the vacant, I'll get it down. I'm just gonna call him Rich. To the vacancy on the Planning and Zoning Commission created by the resignation of Mary Middleton. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion in a second. No discussion. Roll call vote.
Bruce.
Yes.
Trivisono,
Yes.
Winery,
Yep.
Woods,
Yes.
Weist,
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes. Discussion and possible action to approve resolution 2026-03 permitting enforcement of county laws within town.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Bruce.
Yes.
Trivisono,
Yes.
Winery,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Weist,
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes. Finally, discussion and possible action to authorize the town manager and the town attorney to negotiate an agreement with James Benefield for the use of some portion of the 8th Street right of way.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Bruce.
Yes.
Trivisono,
Yes.
Winery,
Yes.
Woods,
Yes.
Weist,
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes. Okay, no other action items before the board this evening. Thank you much to adjourn. I have a motion to adjourn. Do you have a second?
You have a third and a fourth.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Adjourn. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.